everybody. Welcome to Education 764. This is Dr. Fries. I know most of you know me, and I think the rest of you are in Education 763. So we will get to know each other pretty well over the semester. So this is just like in the fall when you took Education 745 and 746. This is the same thing just for math, right? So 763 and 764 typically are taken together. I believe all of you are taking the courses together, except for one person, and that's just a different situation, right? So let's talk about 764. This is the practicum. So the most important thing is the hours, right? The hours, the 40 hours are required by the state, okay? That is not from us. That is a state requirement. So that's the main thing that you want to make sure you are focusing on. Yes, there are some other assignments and everything, but the 40 hours are really the most important part of this course because of the state requirements. Okay, so let's pull up our syllabus. I don't know why it's way over here. I don't like it over there. Hold on, let me close this syllabus. Okay, I have a lot of things happening. Okay, so remember, this is online. Best way to reach me is email. You will take, again, most of you are taking 763 at the same time. These are the same standards that were in your 746 syllabus because I borrowed them from Dr. Nixon, so you should be familiar with those. And you want to make sure, again, that you're working in grades 7 through 12, right? 746 was with the younger students, and for ELA, this one is grade 7 through 12 for students with a learning disability in the area of math, okay? And I know some of you might say, I'm never going to teach high school math. I understand that. I hear you. But you may, right? You never know where you're going to end up. Okay, so you're going to make sure, or you're going to over the semester, we'll work on some videos, some virtual observations, and teaching reflections. You will have a field placement again. 30 hours will be in the classroom, and then the last 10 hours will be videos, the same as Dr. Nixon did. Or you will do an application assignment that is specific to this class. We will talk about progress monitoring in math, and you will collaborate and have some dialogue through the discussion board. Okay, so you need to complete a SLED check and a TB test, right? This is similar or exactly the same as 746. So if you took 746 in the fall of 2022 and you completed the SLED check and the TB test, you do not need a new one, okay? But if you did not, for some reason, if you did not take Education 746 in the fall and did not complete a SLED check and TB test, you will need to submit these documents, okay? So all of this will take place through live text under the, excuse me, what's it called? FEM, the field experience module. I have to think about it. So again, if you took 746 in the fall of 2022, you should be good with your SLED check and TB test. But if you did not take it for some reason, you will need to do the SLED check and the TB test, and you will find that on Blackboard. Lies.com. You will find that on live text. Okay, Mrs. Kaysen is our placement coordinator. You know that she has a bazillion placements to do, so be patient, right? She may or may not have your placement done, today or tomorrow. So be patient with her, okay? You are also not to find your own placements. Mrs. Kaysen is our person who does that. So again, 40 hours required total, 10 will be completed virtually through video observations. I believe we are going to use Atlas, which I know you used in the fall. I have not used it yet, so I need to set up my account, but we will watch videos, well, you will, about math, okay? So 10 hours will be from videos, and then the 30 hours will be in your classroom, working with in your placement, I should say, with your CT, working directly with the students. You may, of course, complete additional hours in your placement, but I know it's tough to get the 30 hours in, but you may not complete less than that, okay? So you're going to you'll be working in a public school setting. Okay, we've talked about this. Ideally, 2 to 5 students in a group. It will be a different setting than where your 746 practicum was done because it needs to be in grades 7 through 12. Again, you are not to find your own placement. Okay, Mrs. Kaysen will be or is our placement coordinator. So again, 30 hours must take place face-to-face in the classroom. It should span, those hours should span about 9 to 10 weeks of the semester, okay? So you cannot simply plan on attending like 6 hours per day for 5 days and saying, oh, yep, I got it all. No, 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 no. You need to try to make it out there weekly so that you will need to set up with your school, where you currently are, and the school to where you're assigned, okay? So it's not just you go in once or twice and call it a day. No, that kind of defeats the purpose. So you need to try to space it out over about 3 hours a week, okay? I will be conducting some surprise checks of your hours entered into live text up to the days where I conduct the checks that could allow you to earn some bonus points. I will not tell you when I'm conducting the checks, but I will add bonus points into the grade book if you had entered and had your CT verify your hours up until that point. Okay, so we all know this is where the struggle comes in, right? So it is your responsibility to coordinate with your administrator colleagues regarding any time you may be away from your own classroom duties. So that is something that you need to, hopefully your schools are aware of this. You're going to need to work this out with your school. Okay, so again, you cannot just go for like 3, 4, 5 days and say you did it. Not following this directive may result in a grade of F for this course, which would cause you to retake this course. And I want you to keep in mind, Education 764 is only offered each spring. Okay, so if you do not follow all these directions, it would put you behind on your graduation path. Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, per the state, you're required to complete 40 hours in a setting different from where you completed your 746 practicum. But just like 746, as I've mentioned, 30 hours will take place in the classroom, while 10 hours will be completed watching videos. All right, so for this semester, for math, it's always a little challenging, okay? So it's different from 746 in that you will teach at least 5 lessons to your students, but what you teach is the CT's choice. Okay, so this is worked out with you and the CT, whatever they want you to do. So they could have you teach a new lesson from whatever curriculum they're using, or maybe 5 different lessons from the curriculum. They could have you teach a remediation lesson. They could have you teach scripted lessons from your textbook, right? So your textbook for 763 is really good because it has, those very explicit scripted lessons. And if you have maybe a group of 2 or 3 students who are struggling with geometry, let's say, well, maybe you go to your CT and say, hey, can I just start with this geometry lesson 1 and just keep going through the chapter? So it's different. It's a lot more of their choice. Okay, so I know 746, you have to do a unit, you have to do a whole bunch of other stuff. It's really hard to do that in math is what I've found. So I'm trying to make it as user-friendly as possible for both the CT and for all of you. All right, so again, you will CT's choice, and you will also not write lesson plans for the lessons that you teach, and you do not need to you don't need to submit a video. Okay, so you can earn up to 40 points for your timesheets. I would have your CT verify electronically at least weekly. I would enter your hours as you go, have your CT verify them, because we don't want you to be scrambling and running around, at the end of the semester. They need to verify the 30 hours that are in person, okay? The 10 hours that are virtual, I will verify those. And then there's also an application exercise. It's taken from another textbook, Archer and Hughes. You may be using this textbook with Dr. Nixon. I'm not 100% positive, but don't buy it, okay? If you don't have it, or if you haven't, if you didn't need it for a class with me, don't buy it, okay? I will post everything that you need. It's just like a 4-page lesson in math. You will review the existing lesson plan and identify specific key components of the plan to enhance your lesson planning skills for future placements jobs. And this will be due pretty early on in the semester that you can start to recognize key components of lesson planning before you're out in your placement setting, okay? But again, you do not need to buy the textbook. I will post everything you need. Okay, we're also going to talk about progress monitoring in math, because it's really important. So we will work through a progress monitoring math IRIS module. Most of you, if you've taken classes with me, you've done an IRIS module before. If you're in 763, there's an IRIS module in that course as well. And just like normal, you will work through the IRIS module and submit the answers to the assessment questions. Okay, you can access it here, or if you happen to, go in IRIS, it's under progress monitoring and math. But again, I will post a video. Those of you who have had classes with me, you know that I post assignment videos before every assignment, and when I post the assignment, it'll be posted over here under the tab that says Assignment Spring 2023. I will post a link right to what you need. Okay, and then we're going to do progress monitoring math part 2. So this is where you will look at actual progress monitoring measures. You will score that I will give you. You will score them both and answer 2 discussion questions about the different methods for scoring math probes. Okay, so you're going to do this one first, part 1, and then the part 2 is I'm also calling it applying your knowledge. But again, I will post a video and I will post a link. But just in case you want to, be an overachiever and look at things ahead of time, you can find that here. Okay, you'll also look at sharing collaborative problem solving. So you will read an article, Rosenshine Principles of Instruction, respond in a Flipgrid post. I will, of course, post that article for you. It's an oldie but a goodie. There's a lot of really great ideas in this article. Then you will also watch your 5 video clips and answer questions in a Word document. So again, this will be hoping through Atlas. Dr. Gunther just sent me a link so I can create my own account so that then I can find the videos for you. And we're going to have this will be due at the end of the semester, which I know is a little bit backwards, but I want you to be able to compare these videos that are, star examples, exemplar videos. I want you to be able to compare these videos that I select for you with what you saw and experienced during your 30 hours in your placement. Okay, so at the beginning of the semester, we have this application exercise due. So you can kind of start thinking about, ooh, those are some good practices that I should be looking for, or when I'm teaching, I need to be employing these practices, right? But then down here at the end of the semester, you're going to have these videos to watch where you can compare the videos to what you saw during your placements. Again, 40 hours of the 40 hours, 30 will be in-house, right? Face-to-face and approved by your CT. The other 10 hours will be virtual, and you will get, you will earn 2 hours per video. Okay, 5 videos, 2 hours, 10 hours, and I will just verify those. Okay. Additionally, your CT will need to submit an evaluation recommendation that will be assigned to them automatically via the field experience module in LiveText. So towards the end of the semester, you will want to just kind of remind them, say, hey, could you please complete this for me? It must be completed by the deadline within the field experience placement timeline. That's not till like April, so just calm down. But again, you can just remind them to submit that for you. So here are our key dates. Affirmation form is due Friday, January 13th, so that's due pretty soon. Then week 5, application exercise due. Weeks 8 and 9 will be your IRIS module and your IRIS module part 2, applying your knowledge. Week 11, Rosenshine Principles of Instruction. 13, your video clips. And then by week 16, we need all your information. Okay, so your hours and all that stuff. As I told y'all, I tried to offset the assignments for 763 and 764 so that you do not have assignments due in the same week if you're taking both courses. Okay, so please note the following exceptions to the grading scale. Even if you passed, but if you received a if you received a rating of not recommended from your CT, you will not receive credit for this course and you will therefore need to repeat the course. Okay, and then a minimum of 40 clinical hours. Again, 30 need to be face-to-face, right? And 10 will be the videos. So if you do not have at least 40 clinical hours that are not verified by, sorry, I had my alarm set because I had a meeting. So sorry, I have a meeting coming up. So sorry if y'all heard that. So if the CT does not verify your hours or you don't have the hours, you also will not receive credit for this course and you will need to repeat the course again. Okay. So just be really mindful of your hours and also the directions above, where it's highlighted in yellow. Don't just plan on going like 4 times for the whole day and thinking, oh yeah, I met the requirement. No, you didn't. Okay, so be really aware of all these requirements. Okay, there's the grading scale. I'm running out of time, the story of my life. Okay, this information right here, the course policies, is the exact same from 763. Again, be mindful of Blackboard. We're hoping it works this semester, but goodness gracious, who knows? Okay, submitting assignments, email, all this other stuff. You've seen this all before. LiveText is required for this course. Obviously, that's how you will get your placement information and all that stuff. Okay, and here are, again, our deadlines. So affirmation form is due January 13th. It is already posted. It's posted right here. This is where you will need to submit it. If you don't know how to submit it, you will need to watch this video. It's the exact same video that's posted for 763. Okay, so just be mindful of that, because if I don't have this form by the 13th, you will be dropped. And then we have a good bit of time where there's not much happening. I will get this application exercise posted probably early next week, so you can start working on that if you want. Okay, that is about it for 764, and I will see y'all soon. Have a great start to your semester.